All right, let's talk about finding a great dog trainer, one that's the right fit for you and your dog, right here in Moline, Illinois.
Life in the Quad Cities is just so much better when your dog is a happy, well-behaved companion, turning every outing into a fun adventure instead of a stressful chore.
So, first things first, why is training so important, specifically for living in Moline? Well, it's really about getting your dog ready for all the specific things you'll encounter around town.
Just picture this, a nice, relaxed walk along the Ben Butterworth Parkway, or being able to browse the Moline Center Farmers Market without your dog pulling you every which way, or maybe just navigating the crowds down at Bass Street Landing without any drama. That's the goal, and good training makes it all possible.
Okay, so you know what you want, but how do you find the right person to help you get there? It really boils down to two key things: how they train and what their professional qualifications are.
Pretty much every reputable trainer today uses what's called positive reinforcement. And it's simple, really. You reward the good stuff your dog does with treats, praise, or a favorite toy. This makes them want to offer those good behaviors, and it builds such an amazing, trusting bond between you.
And just as important is what to steer clear of. If you hear a trainer talking about fear, intimidation, or using tools that cause pain, that's a huge red flag. Honestly, that kind of stuff can actually create new problems and really damage your dog's trust in you. So, how can you tell if someone really knows their stuff? Look for these letters after their name. These certifications mean they've passed some tough exams and are serious about their profession. A CPD-TK is a really solid one to look for, and those other acronyms often mean they have extra expertise with more serious behavior issues. All right, let's get down to the brass tacks. What kinds of training programs are out there in Moline, and what's the cost going to look like?
You've basically got two main paths. Group classes, they're awesome for getting your dog used to other dogs and learning to focus with distractions around. Plus, they're usually easier on the wallet. Private sessions, on the other hand, are where you get that one-on-one attention for specific issues, like jumping on guests, right where it happens, in your own home.
So here's a look at what you can probably expect to pay in the Moline area. A 6-week group class, for example, is usually going to be somewhere between $130 and $275. A single private lesson is often in that $80 to $140 range. This should give you a good ballpark idea for your budget. As you can see, most people go for either private training or group classes, but there's really no single best option. It's all about what you and your dog need to work on to reach your goals.
Okay, this is where you can really take control. When you're talking to a potential trainer, you need to have the right questions ready. So let's go over a few must-asks so you can feel really confident about your choice.
This is the big one. Ask them flat out about their training philosophy. You want to hear them talk about rewards, praise, and making learning fun for the dog. Trust me, their answer to this question tells you so much about their entire approach.
And this is a really good one to ask. You want to know if their plan will fit your life here in Moline. A good trainer isn't going to give you a cookie-cutter plan. They'll want to know about your routines and what your goals are for your dog in your neighborhood. Right, because it's one thing for a dog to behave when things are quiet at home, but what about when you're on a busy path along the Mississippi? Ask them how they help you take those skills out into the real world and make them reliable everywhere. And don't forget this one. Training doesn't just happen during that 1-hour session each week. It happens with you every single day. A great trainer is like a coach who gives you clear homework, so make sure to ask what that looks like. Okay, to finish up, let's cover a few practical Moline-specific rules and some great local spots that every dog owner should know about. Simple but important. 10 feet. That is the longest your leash can legally be in public spaces in Moline. So if you've got one of those long retractable leashes, you'll need to keep it locked nice and short when you're out and about.
And here's a quick rundown of the other must-knows. So your dog has to be on that 10-foot or less leash whenever you're off your property. Illinois law also says they need a current rabies vaccine, and you've got to have that tag on their collar. Oh, and keep an eye on excessive barking. It can become a nuisance issue. A good trainer can help with that too.
So where can you go to put all this new training to the test? Well, the Ben Butterworth Parkway is fantastic for practicing that polite leash walking. Sylvan Island is perfect for working on focus with all its unique sights and sounds. And of course, the dog park at the Green Valley Sports Complex is your go-to for practicing recall in a safe, fenced-in space.
All of this, the methods, the costs, the questions, it's all about building a better, happier life together with your dog. It means having more fun on your walks, enjoying calm trips around town, and just having a more peaceful home for everyone. Here's to many happy adventures together in Moline.